Hi everyone, Sandy here. Welcome to my project for the Remember the Time YouTube Hop with Country Craft Creations. My project is the last one for the hop. It's going to be real simple and easy. It's something that you can make for yourself, and then also if you want to make more for gifts, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you what I use. First, I'm going to go over a few things about the hop to make sure everyone understood. We had 15 project videos. Now, you don't have to make them all with the videos. You don't have to make the projects and share. And these videos will be still available to you on each designer's YouTube channel at any time, so that you can always go back and watch again and make the projects. You do need, however, to leave a comment, and you get a chance to win the prizes that have been announced from Country Craft Creations. You do need to leave a comment, and if you leave a comment on each video, then that's an extra chance to win. So it's real important that you do that. Some of the designers, I haven't been able to watch all of them yet, may have their own little prizes and separate rules for that. Now, the rules are for the prizes from Country Craft Creations. You must be 18 and older. You must be in the USA because shipping is so high to any other countries, and so we apologize for that, for those prizes. You have an extra day to get your comments in tomorrow, which is Monday, and then on Tuesday the winners will be drawn randomly, and the prizes will be announced in a separate video on Tuesday, sometime on Tuesday. I don't have the time yet exactly. So you need to do that. Also, we ask that you subscribe to each designer's channel if you haven't already, and click on the bell so that you'll be notified the next time we have a hop, or the next time each designer does another project on their YouTube channel. Also, click like on each video, because that really helps us to get out there, exposed to other people out there on YouTube. It puts us higher up in the order for searches. Like, you knock on the side when you do a search for a certain kind of project, well, it puts us out there. The more likes we have, the better. So we appreciate that so very, very much. Okay, so I think that's all I need to share. The rules are in the description. You can read that, and also the prizes and all that good stuff. That legal stuff is down in my description, as well as the links to the other participating designers who are in the hop, so that you can follow and go back to those if you've missed anyone. And remember, you have an extra day tomorrow to get your comments in. Okay, so for my project, we're going to make an easel flip desk calendar, a small one. And of course, I am going to be using, like everyone else, the Remember the Time paper collection. This is a really large collection. You're not going to need a whole lot out of it for mine. So hopefully, if you haven't already used up all of yours, you will get some more, or you still have the calendar sections. I've already cut mine for January, but I'll show you February right here. These, you need one of each month, January through December, of these calendar sections, because that's what's going to make our calendar. Then you can pick and choose any pattern for the back side of your flip calendar, and also different elements that you might have left over will work just fine. So you don't need the whole collection for mine, but I did use the 12 by 12. Now, you're going to need artisan cardstock. Initially, I had said I was going to make mine out of lightweight chipboard, and you still can if you want to, but I decided this is the prototype of the base. I like it out of the cardstock, because I don't have to cover the inside or anything. It's all finished on the edges. I will make it double thickness though, and your calendar pages are out of the artisan cardstock, so I'm using black with mine, and you're going to need 8 sheets of the black artisan cardstock, along with your pattern paper collection. And then you're also going to need art glitter glue, of course. You're going to need some score tape to make it easier to assemble the base. That's optional. With mine, as you can see here, I use the planner disc. If you have extra old planners that use the disc, you can just grab 2. You only need 2 for each calendar that you make. Or you can pick up a pack at one of the big box craft stores. This is the Happy Planner medium disc, and the 11 pieces come to a package. So you only need 2 for one calendar, so you can make several with a pack. If you do not have that, then you can just punch the holes and use a binder ring. So you would need 2 binder rings instead. But I am going to be using these because I like the way they look and the way they go in. Now, the other thing is I do have the planner punch by We Are Memory Keepers. This, you don't have to have this to do this. I will show you how to use a 1/4 inch punch and your scissors to make your notch for yours if you're using the disc. If you're not using the disc, then you will just punch your 1/4 inch hole and be on your way and use your rings. So you do not have to have this to do this project. If you're going to make a bunch of them, I highly suggest it. You know, use a coupon and order this or purchase this tool to have on hand if you like to make calendars or planners and you want that kind of slotted punch there. So I do have that. Okay, so I think, and I did say the art glitter glue. So I think that's all the supplies that we need. Of course, you're going to need your 12-inch scoreboard, your scoring tool, your 12-inch trimmer, a bone folder, and a pair of scissors if you're going to cut your hole, and the 1/4 inch punch if you're not going to use the punch like this. So I think that's it. So let's get started on the project. First thing we're going to do is make our planner base, the stand for our flip calendar, desk calendar. So take out of your 8 pieces of cardstock, take 2 pieces. We're going to cut these for our base. So you're going to need 1 piece that is 10.5. So cut it down to 10.5 by 5. Yes, 10.5 by 5. So you need one that size. 10.5 by 5. Then from this leftover piece here, you need another 5-inch. So I'm going to cut another 5-inch, but the length of it will be 7.5. So this is our base part that we need. So save your scraps. Then we need to take this second one. We're going to make some support pieces to make it thicker. So I want to cut 2 that are 6 7/8. So I'm going to cut 6 7/8 first by 5. So you need 2 pieces that are 5 by 6 7/8. And we're going to just set those aside for right now. Okay, I'll lay those over there. These are supports to add extra strength in there. Didn't get that cut quite even right there on the end. There we go. So set those aside, and then you need 2 that are 5 inches by 1.5. So this little piece here, I can get 1 out of that. 1.5 right there by 5. Set that aside. I'm not getting that cut all the way through. There we go. By 5. Set that aside and cut 1 more. Let's see, this 5 inches here. Yeah, we can get it out there. So 1.5. 1.5 by 5. So we got 2 of those cut. Okay. Now then, we're ready to assemble. So we need our scoreboard. Put this larger piece up. You could use it for something later if you want a pocket or something. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard. And my scoring tool. And we're going to take these 2 pieces that we already cut. So take the one long one, which is your 10.5 by 5. Put your 10.5 in at the top of your scoreboard, and you're going to score at a 1/2 inch, 2 inch, and at 3.5. So we have 3 score lines here on this piece: 1/2 inch, 2 inch, 3.5. Okay. Take the other piece, which is your 5 by 7.5, put your 7.5 inch side in at the top and just make 1 score at a 1/2 inch. 1 score at a 1/2 inch, and that should be all we need our scoreboard for, so we can put that up. Okay, now we're ready to grab our bone folder, and we're going to fold this up. Now we'll take the bigger section here and fold it back. Okay, got a little bead there. Fold this back and burnish. So that is your first score line here from the big section. Big section, fold it back. Then when you flip it over, the next score line, fold it up like this. Okay, so now we have that V. Then the 1/2 inch, the final one, you fold it back on itself, so that, and you can reverse these if you need to. You have this V, big V with a little wing here on the sides. So see how that's shaped that way? You want your 1/2 inch, next one here, and then this one here. So we have this shape here for when we make our stand. Now your other piece just has 1 score line, so you just fold it on the 1/2 inch and burnish. Now then, let's put our support pieces in. So I'm going to grab my glue, check it and see if it is coming out. It's getting real low, so it's been a few days since I've used it, so I need to make sure it would come out the nozzle. So we're going to take this big piece here, and the 2 5-inch by 1.5 are going to fit on the inside. So if you have it like this, you have it folded so that you have a valley, a mountain, and the valley of the 1/2 inch. So this is where you want to put one piece of the 1.5 inch between the 1/2 inch and the next score line in these two 1.5 inch sections. You don't want anything in the 1/2 inch. So let's put some glue on the back of this. This is just to give us some double thickness where we did not have to fold it, because double thickness is hard to fold to score. So just burnish that in. Make sure it's between the score lines, and your other 1.5 inch piece goes right there between the score lines. Okay, just put the glue on. Now if you want to put pattern paper on the inner part of your calendar stand, you could do that now. I am not. I'm just going to leave mine black in there. Burnish that and make sure it still can fold. Okay, so right there, get that fold line and burnish. Okay, now we take one of these pieces here that should be cut to fit right in here. Could be a little, see, it's a little bit shorter, and that's fine because we don't want it sticking out. So I'm going to put glue on the back side, and I'm going to put this extra thickness on the, which will end up being the inner side of my easel stand in this first section here. Make sure they're not extending over any fold lines or edges. Okay, and then burnish that down. So it gives us a nice double thickness there for that. So there's that front piece there. So take this one with your hinge to your left, folded towards you, right hand. This piece is going to go inside here. So we just glue that on. And again, there's nothing glued over the score lines and nothing glued in that 1/2 inch section. So we're just going to line this up, making sure it's lined up, not going over the ends or over the score line, and make sure it is straight. There we go, and burnish. Now then, we're ready to put it together. So fold this up so that your 1/2 inch tab is showing right here. You got it folded towards the left. You got your main fold here. Put glue on this 1/2 inch tab right here. Now, if you want some tape, some score tape, I want it narrow. Let's use a 1/4 inch. I just want a little piece of score tape right in the center to help hold this while it dries. So put some right there. I'm going to take the backing off. Oops. Okay. Now then I put glue on the hinge alongside the score tape, not on it. There we go. Now then you're going to take this one and you want the hinge on it to fold under. So you want the end without a hinge and the extra pieces on the inside here. And you're going to just line this up across the bottom and on both sides and burnish that. And that tape will help hold that while it dries. Now then, your other 1/2 inch is here on this side, folded towards the inside. Let's put some tape on that too. Just a little piece of score tape in the center to help hold that down while it is drying, while the glue grabs. You could use clips too if you have some little clips, which I do have. So put glue on the 1/2 inch tab. And then you close this up with this center fold inside. Close it up. Line up the fold end and the cut end of your base, just like that. So it should be able to flatten down like that. And then when you open it up, you have your easel stand like this. So this is your calendar easel stand. Now we're going to put pattern paper on this before we do any hole punching, so don't do that just yet. First, after you have your easel base made, just set it aside and take your remaining 6 12x12 artisan cardstock papers. I'm using the black again, and we're going to cut our pages. We need 12, so cut 12 pages for your calendars that are 5 inches wide by 7 inches tall. So you just go ahead and cut your 7 inch. You're going to get 2 pages out of each piece of cardstock. Set that aside and cut 5 inches. Actually, we can get 3 out of this, I think. So I'm going to cut the 5, cut 5 again. So yes, by cutting it this way, I can get 1 more out of this. So I can get 3 pages out of each sheet, so I only need 4 cardstock pieces. So I'm going to cut this down to 7 right here. So this is 7 by 5. And then that leaves us this piece here. So there's 3 out of that one sheet. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So we cut it 7. Cut 2 pieces out of this that are 5 inches. 5. 5. And take this longer piece, it's already 5 inches, and just cut it down to 7. So we're halfway. We got 6 calendar pages right now. And again, we are not going to punch our holes until we add our pattern papers. So let's take another one, cut it down to 7. 2 5 inches out of this piece. Take the long one that's already 5 inches and just cut it down to 7. And 1 more, and then you have this extra cardstock. Set it aside. You might decide you want some extra things with your calendar that I may not be doing, or you have it if you made a mistake in cutting. So cut this at 7. Now 5. 5 again. And the last one, cut it down to 7. So now we should have 12 pieces that are 5 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So there's our calendar pages. So now we're ready to start cutting our pattern, our calendar sections, and our elements that we want to use in our pattern paper for the back of our pages. So I'm going to grab all that and we'll start cutting those. And I probably won't cut them all on camera with you, but I will show you what I'm doing at first, okay? So now we're ready to cut our calendars for our pages. And so what I've done, you go through, if you still have these left, otherwise you're going to have to cut pattern paper and go online and find you some calendars, especially if you want the ones that already have the dates on them. So you can print those up and use those instead, but I'm going to be using these. So you cut these out. You want one for each month, of course. So you need 12 that are 4 3/4 wide by 6 5/8 tall. So I'm going to cut this one. I've already done January, and I'm going to cut February out, and then I'll do the rest off of camera. You're also going to need a piece for the back of your page, and I'm going to use the print from each month. So I have cut this one out, and you need 12 that are also 4 3/4 wide by 6 5/8 tall. So you can choose whichever pattern you like or that you have left to go on your back side. And then also, so that's January's. I wanted the blue. Go through, I have only picked out these 2 so far. Whatever cut aparts you may have left, or tags, elements that you can clip on, use some paper clips or to decorate if you want the back sides decorated. So I have these 2 cut out. So you look at see what you have left and cut those out as well. So for the February one, I'm going to put this in to my trimmer here at the bottom where I can see, and place it just to the inside of the black line. And I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to put it in so that I'm just cutting the calendar. Okay, so I cut that right there. Now then I'm going to put this back in and I'm going to line it up. I'm using the wire of my cutter to line this up just to the inside of that black line. Just a little bit more. There we go. Make sure everything's straight. And I'm going to cut up to the top and all the way down. So that cuts that out. So I have this left if you still have the full sheet. Okay. And then I'm going to measure this now at 4 3/4 wide. So that should work out about right. Yep. 4 3/4. Cut that away. And then turn, and from the top measure 6 5/8. It's a little over there. I have to do that at the top. Right. There, I hate these trimmers that have the splits. You know? That's right along the bottom of that. Okay. So we have that cut. So go ahead and cut all of yours on my pattern papers. I have to decide here what I want to use. I like the Will You Be Mine. So if you have a full page and you want to use this back side, see, like this is, what's left is 5. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that down at 5. What do we say? We needed 4 3/4 right there. That leaves those elements. I lose these here. I'm using a full page, and now it's at 6 5/8. So that's my February piece, and then I'm going to cut out Will You Be Mine. I'm going to fussy cut that out. So I like that. And some of these tickets, I like the tickets too. So go ahead and cut your calendars for each month. And again, if you have these left and you want to use those, cut those out to fit. Or instead use one of your patterns and pattern the whole thing, and then add a calendar that you've printed up from online that would fit in there. And you can use that instead. Initially, I thought about doing that, and then I decided, well, I like these too. So I have a hard decision deciding on that. So I think I'm going to, I like the kissing booth. I'm going to cut that out. And of course, save all the rest of these. I may use something else, some of these other elements as well. So I'm just cutting out right along that little notch. And if you have a brother scan and cut, you can cut these out with that too. I like to fussy cut, so I'm okay with cutting them these and cutting out the ones I want, or changing the sizes to whatever I need for my project. So there's those two. I'm going to save these other pieces and decide as I'm putting it all together what else I need. So for now, I've got January and February ready. So you go ahead and cut out your monthly calendars, get those ready, and a background paper for the back side of your calendar page, and a couple little elements. And so go ahead and do all that, and we'll be back here in the video, start putting those together and punching out our holes. I have all my pattern papers cut for my pages and for the base of the flip calendar. So for the calendar, you need one for the front and one for the back. And these will be cut at 4 7/8 wide by 6 7/8 tall. So I chose this red one from the February and these roses from June because I love that image there. So one's going to glue in the front and one on the back. So I'll do that in a minute, and then I'll share these other elements with you then. But I wanted to go over the measurements here for the pattern papers. Now, I fussy cut out a bunch of elements. I cut out my calendars, all of my calendar pages like January. Like I told you before, you cut out January through December, of course. So you got 12 of these that are 4 3/4 wide by 6 5/8 tall. And those are going to glue on your pages. And then the back side, I chose a print, and those are the same size, 4 3/4 wide by 6 5/8 tall. So you want 12 of those. And then, of course, any of the elements that you want to cut out. Now, I'm not going to show you me gluing them all down. I'll do a couple of them online, and then I'll turn you loose, so to speak, so that you can like work on yours, and then come back and show you the finished project, or rather come back and show you how to punch your holes for your easel, your flip calendar. Now then, for the, let me move these out of the way. For the base, there's a couple of options if you want to put the year on there. I had in my stash from last year from Country Craft Creations these Echo Park decorative numbers. They're pretty big, but I did have the 2022, so I could use those like that on my calendar. Just kind of slide them up. But I think personally for me, those look, see, that looks good like that. But I'm going to take some scraps of paper, and I'm going to make this, I've already started it, this little tag thing. So this I'm going to set aside. So I also had these Tim Holtz countdown brads. And of course I didn't have enough for like 2022 single, but I got in there and I had 2022 and two brads. See those? And so I put them through onto black cardstock. And then I matted that to some of this red. And so I have another piece of this red. This is scrap, and it is 2" by 4 3/4. And then I had this scrap from the back side of these roses, and this one is 4.5 by 1.5. Yeah. And I'm going to layer this up. So I'm using these brads. So whatever you have, or you can cut some out with your die cut machine or your Cricut, whatever you have. So I'm deciding on this if I want to do any punching. I think I'm just going to glue these together. Let me grab my glue. Let's see how it's doing. Probably need to switch out pretty soon to a new bottle, but I'm going to stretch this as long as I can. So I'm going to center this piece onto the red. Just kind of center it side to side and top to bottom. And then this is cut to fit in between with just a little bit of the print showing. So I'm putting glue on the back of this. So what I did is I put the brads through the cardstock, and then I glued the pattern onto the back to get me the red border. So I'm going to just put this down right here, kind of center it. So I see a little bit of the print on each side. Get that on straight. So that is my year piece. Now I'm going to take the base. This is our base that has been reinforced with extra cardstock. So on the front side, I'm going to glue this piece here that I cut. So you pick out your favorite patterns from the collection that you want to add to your base. And I am not putting any pattern paper on the inside sections because I just don't think that's necessary. But of course, if you want it to have it, you can. So I'm trying to make sure these are on good and even. So burnish that down. I'm going to flip it over and add this one on the back like that. So it's kind of appropriate that the ones that I picked out, February is the month of my birthday, and June is the month I got married. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I did like those patterns. So that's what I chose to use. So line these up, wipe off any excess glue, find my paper towel to wipe with. And we just burnish that down. So that's the back side. And I probably won't do any decorating on that because it's going to be the back of the card, the calendar. So here on the front, you just decide if you want it in the center or offset. And I'm kind of going to offset it some. So if I decide I want to put a picture or something here, I can later on. So take my glue, the back side of this piece. And we just attach it on here to the left. Beautiful, beautiful roses. Get it on as straight as I can and then burnish it. So for now, that's my decorating on my calendar piece because all the rest of these are going to hook on. Now, I am going to show you on a piece of scrap cardstock how to punch your holes if you do not have that punch like I have, okay? So let me get that together. I want to make sure I cover that before I start doing all the rest of my stuff and forget about it. So I've cut a scrap of the cardstock that is the size of the base, which is 5 inches by 7, because I want to show you first. Of course, you'll be going through all thicknesses, so you want to use a crocodile where you can really punch. And for these holes, we're going to mark those. Let's double check this one here. About 1.5 inches from each side. So at the top, and your hole is going to come in at about The center of your hole should be about 3/8. So I'm going to line this up. I'm using white so you can see it. So 1 1/2 and then 3/8. Okay, right there. So I've got this lined up. So I'm going to come in at 1 1/4. I didn't mean to have 1 1/4. I'm going to put a dot right there, and then flip this around. I'm going to make sure it's 1 1/4 right there. So that's where the holes are going to be. Now you're going to take your crop-a-dot, because you're going to be going through all thicknesses of your base, and you line up your center here and punch out a 1/4 inch hole all the way through the top thicknesses, okay? And this is if you don't have the punch that I'm going to be using. So then you take your scissors and you're just going to make a cut right in the center from the top down. And then I'm going to kind of angle it and make a cut on each side of that center cut, so we have like a keyhole. See that? So to the left, you cut an angle into the center, and then another one. And if it's not, looks like it's not wide enough, just cut a little bit more right there. This is for using the rings. Take these off and show you. These are disc. If you don't have a disc and you're just going to use a free binder ring, then of course you don't do these angle punches. So when you stick this in, because you have that angle, it's going to hold like that. So you will do this on all your calendar pages as well as the base to make it flip. So that's what you do if you do not have the punch that I'm going to be using, okay? So next I am going to put my pattern paper on all of my calendar pages, front and back. I have these 12 cut. Remember, we cut these out of cardstock, and they are all 5 inches wide by 7 inches tall, I think. Yeah, which is the size of that scrap that I just cut. And so you're going to pattern these, and you're going to pattern your base first, and then you do your holes. You do your pattern paper and then your holes, because I'm going to show you. Let me take one here, this one aside. Take one, and I'm going to take my January, and because I've cut this, one of these, to the 4 3/4 by 6 5/8. So it is smaller. It's going to leave me a border around there like this. Okay, so this is what we're going to have on all of our calendars. So I'm going to go ahead off camera, and I'm going to glue all these down, and then I'll do the holes on mine. So I have my January on this side. I'll line it up. And those are my January pieces. And then on the back side, I will put the print. Now this is non-directional, so I can put it either direction. That's the way I want it to look. I want the front and the back. So you go ahead and pattern the front and the back of each of your calendar pages before you put any of the holes in the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off and do that, and then we'll come back and I'll show you doing the holes on mine. I have all my calendar pages glued on, front and back. So I have 12 pages here. I have my base course, it's already patterned and front and back, and have my ear here on the front. So I haven't done any of my punching yet. This is the one that I showed you an example of how to do it with just your crocodile, your 1/4 inch hole punch, and cutting slots with your scissors. Now, again, if you're just using the 3-ring binder rings, you would punch your holes, a 1/4 inch hole, 3/8 from the top edge, 1 1/4 from each side. Same thing if you're doing it with the scissors. Punch your hole 3/8 of an inch from the top edge and 1 1/4 from the side. You could create one as a template, then lay them all down and do your punching and then do your scissor cutting. So now I'm going to use my punch, my We Are Memory Keepers slot punch. I can't remember if that's the exact name for it. That's what I call it. So you have it locked, slide the lock, and you see that it has these guides. I'm going to use the bottom of this one to make sure that I'm lining it up the way I want. So if I put it the edge, outer edge of my paper right here on the edge of this guide, and where it's setting, and punch like that, then I flip it over and do the other side, putting the edge on the outer left edge here and punch. So that gives me mine at about the same, 1 1/4 inch and 3/8 down. So that's how I'm going to use it on mine. See how simple that is to punch those. So if you're going to make a bunch of these, this is a tool you might consider getting to punch your slots. So I'm going to go ahead, let's see, have all my bits and pieces laying out here. Go ahead and take my base, and remember this is the top edge and it is the extra thickness. So I'm going to line it up here at the left and punch. Flip it over, line it up again. This will be the hardest punch that I will do, is this base piece. So make sure I've lined it up correctly because I want them all lined up. And there is my base piece ready. And I take my 2, and I'm using black ones. You can use any color you want. Black cardstock, black rings, and my ring is going to go slide inside to this right here. It just slides into the slot. And now I'm ready to put all my pages on as I create them. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to do the same thing on this. I'm going to line it up. I'm not going to punch all these on the camera. I'm going to line up the left edge of the top edge with my tool, flip it over, line it up on the left again, and there's my January. So see, it goes down into the pattern just a little bit. That's the way I wanted it. Again with February, I line the left edge, top edge of my calendar page to the left edge of my tool, flip it over so I can do the other side and punch, and they're all going to be lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that, and then I'll put these on the stand, and then I'll be doing my decorating and sharing with you what I've done on mine. So I've got all my holes punched and all my pages onto my stand, and I really like how it's holding up with the stand. It's kind of hard to show here on the side. This is all of them flipped to the back. So of course you would bring it around for your each month that you're going to showcase. So I'm going to flip it all the way around to January. So those just all flip. I'm kind of cheating. I'm bringing them all more than one at a time. Here on the video there's May, and then so you can take these off easily and rearrange them if you wanted to, but I like having them in this order. So there is the base, which can flatten down like that, and then it stands up, and it does a pretty good job of holding it. So there's my January with the pattern on the back. So when you flip to February. So what I'm going to do now is take all my little bits and pieces and decorate. You know, I may want to add some in here. I don't know. My thought was to, let's flip January over and lay it down, is to decorate the back, possibly for photos. And on the front, use some paper clips to add decorations on the front. So you're going to use yours, decorate as you want to. I am not going to do the decorating on camera. I will come back and show you the finished project here at the end. I've shown a picture of the finished one at the front, but I will show you a step-by-step showcase here at the end of my project so that you can see and get ideas and use your own creative ideas and use mine for inspiration to create your own calendar, make it personal. Like I said, these would be great gifts. And then at the end, when I show this, I'll go over the final details of the hop. And so it's been really a lot of fun creating this. So I'm going to go ahead off camera, do some decorating, and then share that with you in a bit. Well, I finished up all the details on my easel, desk easel calendar from Remember the Time. And here on the front, I had already shown that I added these layers with the metal numbers from the brads. I decided to cut this out of the title page, you know, that comes with the collection. So I just cut that out right here on the side, the Remember the Time title, and matted it to black cardstock, and then glued that here on the front. Wrapped some lace from Country Craft Creations around the front, tied it in a knot, and then tied the black button string bows on here and added this pearl in the center. So that's the front of mine, like that. And I'm going to go over this real quick with you. I do have a showcase walkthrough video separately that I shared before the hop, and then I need to go over some details with you about finishing up this hop and everything and the prizes and stuff like that. So here is mine. Now you can put your pages on in any order that you want. Here, if you use these rings, it's real easy to use. They just, you know, come off and on. So I put my stand on the front. Now with all these loaded up pages, it does kind of pull it up off the table, but if you work with it, it does stand like that. It's hard to show you in this video angle with my camera. But anyway, here it is. I'm going to show you that I did do the backs. Like I added, these are all loose, just under paper clips, some of the cut aparts, and added a belly band photos. So I did that on all of them. This is January, there's February's, March. This is the back side, April, May, this is June, July, August, no, September, August, September, October, November, and December. So that, and then that's the back of the base. So I have all the backs done, and I'm going to show you real quick flip through of the finished. So here is January, and all the elements under the paper clip do come off so that you can utilize the calendar. And I glued everything together on this one piece or two pieces. Used buttons from my stash, some of the glossy Nouveau's crystal drops and crystal glaze on different elements throughout the project. So there's January, and I'm flipping mine from the back. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, this button's a little heavy. It wants to slide around. Let me clip it on a little tighter here. There we go. August. September. October. November. And December. Okay, so that is my flip easel calendar desk calendar. So I want to go over some details with you about finishing up on the hop. This is the last tutorial for the hop. The hop did start on November 26th at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time with Debbie's project, Debbie with Project 39 mini albums, and then we had 5 projects each day. So there's a schedule. There's a schedule in my description. If you've missed any of them, you can go back to them anytime. These are on YouTube. And this is mine. This is the last one here. It's aired on Sunday, November 28th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So this is the last one. You do have all day from now through Monday to watch your videos, the hop videos, and leave your comments. Comments is how we're going to determine the winners. So I want to go over some of the details of that. The prize giveaway rules. This prize giveaway runs from 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, November the 26th, through 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, November the 29th. So that gives you an extra day to finish up watching your videos, all the different 15 videos, and leaving a comment. The prizes are for USA residents only because of the cost of shipping. There's no purchase required, but you must be 18 years or older. And we ask that you like each hop video and leave that comment on each hop video, and only one comment per hop will qualify for a drawing. So also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to each designer's YouTube channel to help promote them and Country Craft Creations. And be sure to click on the bell to each channel to be notified of the winner announcement video, which will be posted sometime on Tuesday, the 30th. And also it will notify you of any future videos by that particular channel, you know, tutorials and things like that. Again, prize winners are USA only, and this will be drawn on November the 30th, 2021, and the winners will then be announced in a separate prize winner video on all the participating hop channels. So I'll have a video here. All the different designers will be the same little video clip, just sharing who the winners are. Now, what are the winners? Well, there'll be a random drawing from all the qualified hop comments, and that will determine the winner for the prizes, which are this time there's going to be a giveaway of 5 $25 gift certificates to Country Craft Creations. So that's really exciting. You get to go shopping, maybe buy one of your favorite paper collections. And you must, if you're a winner, you must contact Country Craft Creations by email at countrycraftcreations@outlook.com by December the 7th, 2021. And then the prizes will be awarded within 3 business days of receiving that email notification from the winner, and the gift certificates will be emailed to the winner. Entries for the random prize drawings will come from the eligible comments on each hop tutorial video, and the comments must be posted on the participating YouTube channels from 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, November 26th through 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, November the 29th. All this is down in my description, and we're going to limit 1 comment per participating video. So you have 15 chances if you comment on all 15 videos, but only 1 comment will count on each video. Also, YouTube is not a sponsor of this hop, and by leaving a comment for this video, you release YouTube from any liability related to this hop and prize giveaway. Okay, so I think that's probably it. I want to thank you so much for following along. I hope you had a great time, got some great ideas for calendars that would make great gifts for your own personal use, and that you check out this wonderful paper collection that's exclusive to Country Craft Creations. It's called Remember the Time. It's a really big collection. You can make pages for the whole year out of this collection. So I've had a lot of fun creating this for you, and again, thank you so much, and good luck to all of you on winning a prize from Country Craft Creations. Thanks. Bye-bye.